Hello, this is Dodie from Deliberate Aging. Welcome to my podcast. Hey friends, today's episode is going to be a little different. I want to open my heart in a way I haven't done before. Recently, life dealt me a few heavy blows. I've gone through some losses, real painful ones that shook me at my core. The kind that stop you in your tracks and make you question things you thought you understood. It's been raw, it's been emotional, and honestly, it's taken everything in me to sit down and press record. I thought about keeping this private, about just carrying on with my usual content, smiling through the pain and pretending everything's fine. But then I realized something. This right here, this is life. Messy, uncertain, heartbreakingly beautiful life. And pretending we're untouched by grief or change robs us of connection. So I chose to share. Because as much as these losses broke something inside me, they also gifted me something unexpected. A sense of clarity. The kind you don't get from scrolling Instagram or watching motivational videos. It came from quiet moments when the world felt still. It came from realizing how precious time really is. Now, I don't know how much time I have left. None of us do. But I do know this. I want to live it fully, fiercely, and honestly. And today I want to talk to you about what that means to me. So, when you go through something deeply painful, whether it's the loss of someone you love, the ending of a chapter you didn't want to close, or even facing the fragility of your own health, your brain doesn't just process grief, it rewires. Suddenly you're awake in a way you weren't before. That's what happened to me. I began asking questions I'd never asked before. I realized how much of my time was spent on autopilot, scrolling, worrying about the future, regretting the past, people-pleasing, overthinking, you get it. And I just thought, what if I decided to actually be present? What if every moment of life was something I chose instead of just tolerated? And that wake-up call, it didn't come with fireworks or some grand gesture. It came when I was doing the most ordinary things, like folding laundry or suddenly wondering, is this how I want my time to feel? So I made a choice to stop waiting for the perfect moment, to start living the life I want. That moment is now. It's this breath, this hour, this day. And even if it's not perfect, especially if it's not perfect, I want to live it fully. So one of the biggest shifts I've felt lately is how I define joy. Before, I think I linked it to achievements or milestones, big wins, celebrations, things people notice. But now, joy feels quieter, more personal, like it's tucked into everyday moments that often slip by unnoticed. It's the warmth of sunlight coming through the kitchen window while I drink my coffee, the sound of laughter from someone I love, the feeling of finishing a good book or taking a walk without checking my phone. It's choosing to spend time in ways that feel good for my soul, even if no one's watching. Now, don't get me wrong. There's still a place for excitement and passion and going all in on something you care about. But joy doesn't always have to be loud. Sometimes it's just peaceful. It's a feeling of presence. And one of the biggest lessons I've learned is that you can choose joy on purpose. You can build it into your day. You don't have to wait for it to happen spontaneously or only after you've earned it. It's in that first bite of chocolate cake you didn't overthink. It's in turning off notifications and simply existing. It's in letting yourself be delighted, fully and unapologetically. Now, when I look back, I don't want my memories to be only of hustle and struggle. I want them to be of laughter, warmth, messiness, and meaning. So I'm relearning how to find joy, and not just find it, but protect it. So here's something I've come to believe deeply. Balance isn't something you stumble into. It's something you build moment by moment. And it's not about perfection or rigid rules. It's about listening to yourself, knowing your needs, and honoring both discipline and delight. Now, I do take care of myself. I do. I move my body regularly, I choose food that nourishes me, and I make sleep a priority even when everything else feels more urgent. I make time to connect with people who matter to me because those relationships are nourishment too. But I've also realized something equally important. Life is not a checklist. You're allowed to live with intention without being intense. You can pursue health without worshiping it. You can enjoy the heck out of a chocolate cake once a week and still be someone who values well-being. Honestly, that cake is part of my wellness plan. Not just because it tastes amazing, but because it represents something bigger. Freedom, pleasure, self-kindness. It's me saying, I'm not here to punish myself. I'm here to enjoy this life. This balanced approach has lifted so much weight off my shoulders. It's taught me that sustainability isn't about willpower, it's about joy. It's choosing habits to support your body and your spirit. It's saying yes to movement, nourishment, connection, and also yes to dessert, rest, and fun. So now every choice I make is filtered through a simple question. Is this helping me feel more alive? And if the answer is yes, even if it's a slice of cake, I am all in. I've learned that healing doesn't happen in isolation. It's tempting to retreat when we're hurting, to shut the world out and just try to deal with the pain alone. I've done that. I've sat in silence, feeling like no one could possibly understand what I was going through. But then something beautiful happened. I started opening up just a little to a friend over coffee, to someone who messaged me unexpectedly and asked how I was doing, to family members who didn't know what to say but still showed up. And what I found is this. Grief is communal. Joy is communal. Life is communal. We're wired for connection, and there's something deeply powerful about sharing space, physical or emotional, with people who care. Sometimes the most healing thing isn't advice. It's someone sitting with you in the discomfort, just being there, keeping space. And sometimes you find that your story helps someone else feel a little less alone. That's the real magic of being human. We get to help each other carry the weight. I've made it a priority to nurture my relationships, not just the easy ones, but also the ones that need intentional care. I want to say the words that matter. I'm proud of you, I miss you, I'm here. These things shouldn't go unsaid. Because when I look back on life, I won't care how many deadlines I hit or how many posts I made. I'll care about who I laughed with, cried with, grew with. I'll care about the moments of real connection, the ones that reminded me that I belong. So ever since I began this shift in how I view life, I felt a pull towards boldness. Not reckless, loud boldness, but the kind that comes from within. The kind that whispers, you only get one shot at this, make it beautiful. Living boldly means saying yes to experiences that scare you a little. It means not waiting for perfect conditions, but showing up anyways. It's booking the trip, starting the business, saying I love you first, taking the class, applying for the job, asking the tough question. It's trusting that life favors the brave. Not because everything will work out, but because you're willing to live with intention. And loving deeply, that's the other side of the coin. We're taught to protect ourselves from heartbreak, to build walls after loss, but I'm learning to love even harder because of it. Because every connection, every tender moment, every goofy laugh, it matters. It adds richness to our lives. Even if it doesn't last forever, it's still worth everything. I want to love with my whole heart, knowing that it might get broken again someday. I want to tell people what they mean to me while they're still here. I want to leave no loving word unspoken, no kindness withheld, because that's what stays with us. Not the stuff, not the stress, but the love. Living boldly and loving deeply means living fully. It means choosing to be awake to this life even when it hurts, especially when it hurts, because the pain reminds us that we care and that's something worth honoring. So in closing, if you've listened all the way through, thank you very much, truly, from the bottom of my heart. You've shared this space with me in a way that's deeply personal, and I don't take that lightly. Opening up about loss, clarity, joy, balance, it's vulnerable, but also deeply freeing. Look, I don't know what tomorrow holds. None of us do. But what I do know is that today The moment right here, right now, is mine. It's ours. And we get to choose how we spend it. Not perfectly, not fearlessly, but intentionally, boldly, lovingly. Thanks for listening. This is Dodie from Deliberate Aging. Until next time, be well, friends. This podcast is presented solely for informational and educational purposes only. Use of information from this podcast is at the user's own risk. It is not intended as a substitute for the advice of your physician or other qualified professional. We are not responsible for any losses, damages, or liabilities that may arise from use of this podcast.